So good morning from Solomons Island, Maryland. We sailed about halfway back from Annapolis yesterday, unlike our trip up to Annapolis, which was all in one day.
So yesterday we had 21 knot winds, pretty good seas, but we were on a broad reach most of the day, which is pretty good.
And this is the longest stretch of days that we have spent living on Traveler, and we also sailed the longest distance.
Single distance, yes.
We'll have done about 160 miles.
Yep. But we've also seen a big shift in weather, and the cold front came through on Saturday, really shifted the wind direction and the temperature, and so we probably had a 20-degree temperature swing during this trip as well.
From shorts to wool sweaters.
Yeah. Good morning. It is pitch black outside. It's just at 3 o'clock in the morning, and we have a 70 to 80 mile trek up to Annapolis. We're about an hour into our trip this morning, and I tell you, I won't lie, it was quite nervous getting out of our marina and then also the channels. We're going pretty slow, had to have the flashlight. Janet was out on the bow, had the flashlight looking for crab pots and just trying to navigate through this stuff. I think we've made it through a lot of the hard stuff this morning, well, the worst stuff, hopefully, and in a little more open water, so able to relax a little bit more. But I'll tell you what, I was a little nervous this morning, I can't lie.
The sun is starting to come up. We have been motoring for about 4 hours.
A lot nicer now that we can actually see what's going on. We'll watch the sunrise, get some breakfast, and start some probably...
Maybe tag team a nap.
Tag team a nap. Yep.
The sun looks beautiful, peeking up over the cloud. It's real bright pink. And it was a little sunny for a while. And now it's mostly cloudy. We are just south of Lexington Park, Maryland. The wind has picked up, and we are motoring directly into the wind. I have taken over the helm. I finally got Aron to lay down and take a nap since we got up at 3 o'clock this morning. And it is now 10 o'clock, so we have been cruising for about 7 hours. Here's our current navigation coming up on Solomons Island. Here's a view of Calvert Cliffs State Park, just a little north of Solomons Island in Maryland. It's almost completely sunny, but the wind is quite chilly. We've gone about 46 miles. We're about 2/3 of the way. We have about 25 more miles to go. All right, we have about 13 miles to go.
Way off in the distance, we're beginning to see the Bay Bridge.
Here we are.
And here we are.
And you should hold it because your arm is longer.
We're almost to the boat show. It's been a very, very long day. Started at 3 a.m. this morning.
Our first time ever at the boat show.
First time at the boat show, yes. And I need to make sure I'm doing the right thing with this big.
So we're coming up
with
to
the big,
some more
big boat
ships, and
coming
I'm going to show you how far away they are, and Aaron's panicking that we might hit them head on.
Listen, we have to be able to get out of the channel. We're not moving that fast.
All right, here's the ships we're coming up on in the channel, and we need to get out of their way.
And I do want to indicate that the ship did not call us because I made the apparent move. He knew our intentions was not to be in his way. Janet gets a little paranoid, thinking I'm a little baby about some of this stuff. Oh my gosh! Oh my god! You know you're not.
I want to be close to the ship. I want to see the ship close up. That's all.
But I don't want to get hit by the ship.
It's going that way.
It's going that way, but we were right in the middle of it. But listen.
Just because you're cute. We are getting closer, and the water looks so beautiful. Gorgeous sunset. We got our slip assignment at Bert Jaden's. Aron's getting the dock lines ready. And so we're getting things set up so when we get there, it'll be easy.
As long as when I say cleat it, a line goes on a cleat, it's cleated.
Uh-huh.
Fine.
Uh-huh. That sounds like you might be concerned. Aron's really good at docking, and he's also very picky about docking. He's up on the bow now getting the bow lines ready. And Bandit has been up in the cockpit the entire day. We're just getting to the channel of Back Creek. We've got about 2 miles to go to get to our slip at Bert Jabin's. Excited?
Exciting.
We're taking the water taxi from Bert Jabin's over to the boat show this morning. Miss Ann 2.
And look at all of the masts set up for the boat show. This is the Spa Creek mooring area. Front row view of the Sailboat Show. And all of the flags back there. And a view of the actual boat show itself. Alright. And we're here. We are standing on the Arabella, the top deck of it.
Yeah. And it's 138 feet long and it has a hot tub.
Hot tub on the back. But the cool thing is, it is standing up here. We are able to overlook the Sailboat Show with all of these flags and masts. Yeah, it is a pretty cool sight to see here.
Visiting with sailing vessel Booger this morning and taking a little drone footage. Thank you.
Big Booger.
Big Booger.
Missing the ferry. So close. We're adding footage.
Quite a bit windier today if you're on the taxi ferry headed back to the show. There's one of the other taxi ferries going by. It's early Sunday morning at about 7:30, and this is where we spent the last few days at Bert Jabin's in Annapolis. Just have to unhook the power right there, undo the dock lines, and head out to the bay. And it's quite a bit chillier. It's only about 53 degrees right now. Good morning.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
It's gonna be cold.
I dressed up warm. I dressed in layers. I'm ready for it to be a little chilly.
Yeah, we're back to that again.
But at least it's sunny and we have good wind direction, so hopefully. So
Yeah, that cold front came through yesterday. Totally changed the wind direction around. We went from 72 to 75 degrees for the last couple of days. Now it's 55 with a high in the low 60s. And
disconnecting the power. Anyway, it's low tide this morning. Yesterday we were about even with the dock, and now you can see our deck is quite a bit lower.
it's just, this stuff is so cold right now. It's not flexible at all. It just makes retrieving it a little easier. Down below.
Now we just have to do the dock lines. We're pretty much facing into the wind, maybe slightly from the port side.
So we're gonna have to do the dock lines out front pretty quick. So keep us.
The navigation on.
Yep.
All right, we are off, and we're gonna head back out to the Chesapeake. There is an impressive amount of sailboats here. Better view of the bridge this morning.
We are on the sail tower, and I'm going to do something. Janet, I'm going to go ahead and turn the motor off. And just listen to the quietness. This is what it's supposed to sound like. Minus him.
Both sails up, and we're going about 5 knots. And as we turn up here, we should be able to pick up a little bit of speed. We are going a little over 8 knots, so we're making really great time today. We are enjoying much windier conditions as we head back from Annapolis.
We just had to react to some extra strong winds that just came up. You know, we did have the mainsail all the way out, but the winds just overpowered us, even though we had the sail falling off as much as we could. And what it did was that extra wind just took us straight. We were overpowered on the mainsail and went straight into the wind. It just automatically turned the boat. So we've since reefed, taken it down the second reef, and then we're in 17 knots of wind right now.
Aron's doing all the hard steering. You can see he's bundled up a little bit too. His ears were getting cold. We're making really good time. The winds are still at about 18 knots, and our speed is about 6 knots. The wind is persisting. It's been a great day for sailing with some speed. Can't take a break for a second. And this is where Bandit hangs out when we have rough seas. Going about 8.2 knots right now. Anyway, we're getting closer to our destination. It's kind of entertaining.
So we are still in 21 knots of wind, but today has been really fun. There's been some really exciting, scary moments as well. But at the end of the day, we are out here doing it and still constantly learning all of this stuff. I think we got overpowered on our sails 2 times today. You know, it's just quick reaction and understanding what you need to do to get out of it. You don't learn that by not coming out, so and being out in it. Right now, we're cruising along at 7 knots. You know, I guess it's a combination probably of current and wind, but yeah, I think our whole speed is probably around 7, maybe a max of 8. We've hit 8 numerous times today.
We've taken our sails down and we're motoring the last few miles here. We've sailed most of the way today. We are coming up to Drum Point, Maryland, which as we round the the point, we will be leaving the Chesapeake Bay and entering into the mouth of the Patuxent River. Here's a better view of the bridge. Zoom in a little. Coming up to the first anchorage area here. We found a spot to anchor here at Solomon's Island. Actually, we found a mooring ball that was available. So this is where we are set up for tonight. We got the dinghy down and the new motor on it. All right, here we go. First time in our dinghy with a motor. We're heading to shore over here. So we enjoyed a very nice dinner at Angler's Bar and Grill, and we are motoring back in the dinghy. We walked to the local 7-Eleven for some provisions. And now we're heading back. And there's quite a few sailboats anchored here. Beautiful full moon tonight. There's Traveler.
We have the sunrise. Found the mooring balls back here at the Safe Harbor Sandsers Marina. 30 to 40 bucks a night, and then you have access to Wi-Fi and the bathhouses. Jen is up front doing the mooring balls.
Heading out to the bay. This is the Patuxent River. Final look back at where we anchored here in Solomon's Island. Looks like there's a fuel pump station on the way in if you need fuel and you're headed this way. I was looking all over for Bandit and I discovered he came up and got in his little igloo without making a sound, so we didn't really notice him. There he is. We have about 18-19 knots of wind, and we have both sails out but reefed, and we're going about 7 knots. The wind is quite chilly. Just bringing out that front sail just a little bit really picked up our speed, and the wind also picked up to 23 knots. You can really see how rough the water is out there. Lots of white caps. The winds are persisting, and I think we're about 1/3 of the way. This is the Point North Point Lighthouse.
Janet is at the helm. The 20 knots of wind. Pretty good seas behind us.
It's been a rough day though. The winds are cold, so it feels a little brutal. Hang on! It would be great if it was 80 degrees.
So this is the second day of sailing in these conditions. Yesterday I think we did about 40 or 45 miles. Definitely running reefed today. I'm just relaxing while Janet's very good things for a while.
A well-deserved break.
Hard.
All right.
Are we overpowered?
Wait, we got out of that. Okay. All right, straight in real quick. Hop out.
We are passing on the inside of the Smith Point Lighthouse, and we are officially back in the state of Virginia. And we have about 8 miles to go. That should take about 2 hours. The winds have not let up at all.
Let it down slowly.
We are almost back to our home marina in Ingram Bay, and Aron is taking down the mainsail. We had great winds all day. Dropping down the mainsail, and we're going to motor the last mile into our marina. Bandit survived the 2 days of sailing in high seas. Officially an adventure kitty. Bandit, one final look for the camera. Attaboy. Feels good to be back. Just a lot of fun and an opportunity to have an excuse to sail all the way from Ingram Bay up to Annapolis. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in following our adventures, please subscribe.